So when it comes to the president's tax returns, which affect no one except the president, Joe Biden says the American people deserve to know that information. But when it comes to how Biden will actually govern if he becomes president, he says the American people don't deserve that information. So what do you make of that?
Well, this is just another example of the Democrats doing what they do best, which is deflecting. The real issue is the Democrats have an agenda for America, and the agenda is a socialist agenda, and they don't want to talk about it. This is just one of many issues where Biden is hiding behind what's really his intention with government. You know, when he appointed Kamala Harris to be his vice president, I think it spoke volumes to American people that we really are moving down a Marxist agenda, a road to Marxism with the Democrat Party. And this is just another example why they won't reveal what they really think. Over 150 years, we've had 9 justices on the Supreme Court. And the idea that we would change that just because we don't like the result is an issue. And here's the other factor to consider. The real problem that the Democrats have is we've nominated an incredibly capable woman to the Supreme Court nomination. And I think that the challenge is they oppose her on the so they have to oppose her on something else because her qualifications speak for themselves. But the reality is this: Joe Biden and the Democrats want to make America a socialist country like in Eastern Europe or somewhere. And I don't think the American people are going to fall for it. We know better. And that's why I think President Trump's going to have 4 more years.
And so when we see this, we know that the media has been covering up for Biden now for his entire campaign. However, I think the Associated Press is taking it even a step further than that, because now we see them messing with language, trying to redefine terms, Orwellian, if you want to say that. They're trying to say that now packing the court is actually depoliticizing the court, and that only critics of the move would call it court packing, as if it hasn't had decades of, of history of being called packing the Supreme Court, when to your point about the Supreme Court, it's had 9 justices as tradition for about 150 or more years, and now all of a sudden we see Democrats trying to boost that number to 13 or perhaps even higher.
Well, can you imagine the chaos that this country would be in if President Trump didn't move forward with a nomination for Supreme Court and we didn't have a 9-court justice system? If we had a split court, what would happen in this election with the Democrats doing all that they can to undermine this election with universal mail-in voting? I mean, I think it would be scary to think that there could be a tied court and what that would, the type of country that we would descend into. But the reality is this: the fake news media is the largest super PAC of the Democrat Party. And they've been doing the witness or candidate protection plan with Joe Biden this entire election. So it doesn't surprise me that they're trying to push a narrative that only fits what they see for America, which is a socialist agenda. It's scary. And frankly, I don't think the American people are going to fall for it. President Trump has been forthright on every issue, whether it's his taxes, debunking this whole issue. He's been under audit for 10 years. I mean, the president has an amazing collection of assets, one that people have never imagined before around the world. We can go visit at any time what he's turned into the FEC, Federal Election Commission, on reports for his finances. That's just another issue where the Democrats can skirt without talking about the real issues that affect American people, like how do we get this economy moving again? How do we get these cities, these liberal cities that have been taken over by Democratic extremists, how do we provide protection to the people there? How do we begin to get people healthy from the coronavirus, something that the president's administration has been moving forward on since day one. So again, I think there's a clear contrast that we have between President Donald Trump, who wants to keep Americans free in a free market system, and Kamala Harris and Joe Biden with their Marxist extremism and a socialist agenda that's just frankly un-American.